their way of teaching whether you like it. So either you're going to be part of it or you're not. Oh, so you're not going to be part of it. Just keep in mind this and this and this is going to be removed from you. So what are you going to do?
That's the controlling oligarchy. Listen, the controlling oligarchy is getting $2 trillion a year off of our backs, we the people, we the hosts. They are the parasites sucking the blood from this system like vampires. We need to redirect the flow of this borrowing and spending back to we the people directly. If that means liberty checks, let it be. But this government, you can't trust it. You have to go to Open Secrets and see who your congressional and your senatorial representative is taking money from. That is their paymasters. They are bought and sold whores. You have to be politically aware. The primary is March 17th. Everyone in this room has to be a registered voter. You need to find out who you're voting for and who they're taking money from. Okay, I'm a positive optimist. I'm trying to come up with creative solutions here. If anybody thinks I'm correct, put a 1 in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. Put a 1. 1, 1, 1. And that's all I'm saying. Now is all important. Put a 1 in the chat if you agree with me. If you should know who your sponsor, what the sponsored logos are on that jacket of that person you're representing, or who's representing you and that you're paying for. They're borrowing and spending for you. They took you from $100,000 to $400,000 in debt. It's not going away, ladies and gentlemen. You have to be fiscally conservative and financially aware of the situation. This is all dealt with in dollars. We can talk all day long, but the numbers aren't changing. You have to be aware of who you're voting for and who their sponsored companies are behind that person. Go to Open Secrets and look up your congressional representative. Does everybody here know what district they live in? Who's your congressional representative? For federal Congress, go to Open Secrets right now, type their name in, post it to X, post your X handle, follow me on X. We have to get organized and be smarter. I thought yesterday, do you realize that if we go into hyperinflation and there's mass starvation and there's no food coming into the country and we're not making our own food, and nobody has any income anymore, do you realize that communication will become a priority? No one will be allowed to speak unless you're begging. Only way you can come on here is you have to convince people why other people need to send you money because you're starving and your children are starving and you're going to die unless you come on the internet and beg for money. That's how bad things could get, meaning that we have to prioritize our communication. So if anything is be intelligent, but be politically active, be socially active. That is how real change will happen. You have to create real networks. You have to become a node. You're a communication information warrior and a subject matter expertise. That's what will happen in the future economy, where things will get so bad there will be breadlines and there will be tens of millions of Americans in the street because BlackRock owns all the houses and they're not renting them to you. You never know how crazy things can get, based on the way that the game is played. This is all game theory, ladies and gentlemen. You've all been coming to this app to participate in a game theory, a scientific experiment. What kind of catalyst are you? What kind of properties do you have? What have you been bringing to the table, and what are you taking away? What are you transmitting? What kind of message are you communicating? This is awareness, ladies and gentlemen. It all deals with communication.
Let me tell you one thing. First of all, if it goes to voting and knowing where the hell did it fucking get us, look us on top. Where did it get us? So I think we've been voting for fucking years and going to this in Congress and all that shit. At the end of the day, they're all over. So even though you take up, you're definitely going to need some backup plan to literally, I know it's a solution, but you're going to, like when you go for pushback, when you're trying to get rid of these, you're going to have major pushback. And you're going to need a whole fucking group and army to figure that shit out because they're all over. And then what good did it get us? Because look who we have fucking running this whole United States. Oh, yeah, the voting did very good. Where the fuck did it get? Look how the shit, more disaster that it is that he's basically destroying from the inside. We got invaded by people in here. The thing is, and you thinking by if you take certain people, they're all connected. You're gonna have to go through secrecy and figure out who they all are. They got the backup who's supporting them. You're gonna literally have to fucking clean house, and they're not gonna give it to you easy and say, "Oh, because we're voting." How many voices go up there and fucking vote and do, and look where we're at still? You're doing it for decades. So that angle is not working where we're going at. And you're thinking it's way beyond what we actually think, what these people know and who they're. Well, I'm not saying it's fear, but you better have somebody up there really high with a whole bunch of fucking army to clean fucking house. And they ain't gonna give it to you easy. They're all corrupted, especially the people that are supporting them across the fucking seas. And they're in the health, they're in the government, they're in our CIA, FBI, they're about every fucking FEMA, everything that you fucking know. And we got some of our police officers, some of our National Guard, some of the stuff that are even corrupted with the same people. That's a lot of fucking corruption everywhere.
Listen, corruption is around the world. Corruption
That's
is
what I said, it's
corruption.
everywhere.
Let me ask you a
It's
question.
not
Make it
just
pop.
United States.
Quick question.
But
Quick
if
question. Let me
we're
ask you
talking
a
about
question.
solutions, you're gonna need a big fucking army to clean fucking house.
The only thing you,
That's gonna give you a big pushback.
if you want a solution, put all of them in one room, and you already know. So you can't do those things on social media, but you gotta.
It's not gonna happen. I mean, you gotta have better solutions.
That's the only solution.
No, this deals with mind viruses. They've created a mind virus. We are the solution to that mind virus. And because they created a mind virus, we can recreate a new mind virus and take over the network. You have to understand, this is a chain of command of communication. And this room right now and the work that Augustus has done has proven that you can regime change, that Kamala Harris and Tim Walz are not our leaders. Thank God, because guess what? You think this little conflict with Russia would have de-escalated? It would have escalated beyond belief. They would have plunged us into a third world war. That takes the cake. All this debt talk means nothing when a third world war breaks out. And Kamala Harris and Tim Walz could have taken us over the edge because they are that psychopathic, that deranged, that stupid, that manipulated, that whorish. They are bought out little pimps and whores. That's what they are. They are owned by other people. So let me tell you this. Thank God Donald Trump and JD Vance are our leaders, because those are men who have some stability behind them, unlike Tim Walz and Kamala Harris, who are bought and paid for whores. They would have destroyed this country and fought the war and fought a World War III.
Oh God, slow down, bro. We understand. Okay, slow down. Just going on and on. Wait, we have conversations here. We don't listen to dissertations and theses.
I don't disagree with you, but we can't have
don't.
dialogue and we don't come up for air.
Michael, you gotta be clone, brother. We gotta clone you. But at the end of the day, let me ask you a question. People say, "Oh, World War III." Ladies and gentlemen, World War III is right now. There's not one nation on this planet that's not at war or has war-ready ships, armies at their sea. Right now, we're at the Sea of Venezuela. We're at the Sea of Russia. Everybody is ready for war. The war is happening. The war on consciousness is happening.
This is like the
And
best concept.
You wait till this UN
I hope everybody knows I am a performative actor.
what they think about
Some people might call that being a troll,
crazy stuff to take the light off of them.
but a lot of people don't like that kind of rhetoric. And that's my game. Everybody is essentially trying to create as much dopamine flare as possible, and this is me being hyperbolic.
Just think about it.
But still, it's just political, ladies and gentlemen. Don't be upset when I call Tim Walz and Kamala Harris a pimp and a whore. It's called politics. And it's not even that
You have to
crude.
be prepared for every single little thing that they're going to come at you. And keep in mind, and even if you take those morons off the fucking top, they still got other minions in the fucking bottom that will replace them easily with the other fucking minions.
Well, this sounds like an Antifa room now, ladies and gentlemen. That was the original title of the room. Who here's an Antifa member? Who here's a radical, violent person? Because that's really what I'm concerned about, is violence. Now, you can try to say I'm going, hyperbolic. I'm just literally, I am an actor. I am a creator. I am an artist. I'm a filmmaker. I'm a politician. I'm a veteran. I'm here to tickle your feather, and I hope you're having fun. Yes, maybe you think I'm being too political, but I'm just here to tell you that if you haven't gone on a walk yet today and you're going to be on this app for 8 hours, it's not good for your health, ladies and gentlemen. Try going to the gym and reading a book.
No, hold on one second. What you said, John. Hold on one second, because what you said is very important. By the way, I've been researching all these conspiracies and everything since the Russian manifestos in the 80s. Where Carl, I forgot his name, all the Bob Akin and all those other crazy people. But you gotta understand one thing. In my journeys, everybody that carries all this information turns crazy. There's a point of no return after you know so much that you can no longer be normal. So, ladies and gentlemen, please do not let this information overload your regular days. Go on your walks. Go do what you got to do in life. And don't let this consume you, because it will, because there's no ending to what this is going on. This has been happening for thousands and thousands of years before us, and it will happen for thousands and thousands of years after us. The only advantage that we have is that we can freely communicate with people in different regions and actually report of what is actually really going on, and not depending on a media source to tell us what's going on. That's the only difference. Because if they could do that part right there, the Anne Frank diary, they even said that that's a lie. So at the end of the day, just enjoy the fact that you could speak to people with different...
You're going to downgrade a dead girl who was murdered in an apartment by Nazis? Sir, what's wrong with you? Are you part of Antifa? You're calling Anne Frank a liar? I'm calling you a liar. Pull out Anne Frank's book and read a chapter, dummy. Don't come in here and tell us about Anne Frank's book unless you read a chapter from that book, sir.
Question.
We have a
Okay. So for me and whoever just got in the room, can you give us a brief recap of what you're talking about? As far as I don't get overwhelmed with this information. Can I sum it up? Please.
Is it they're talking about
John, lower down the radicalism, my brother. I understand.
Can you let it make it pop to someone if you don't mind, make it pop?
So the thing is, like, I understand, like everybody has a freedom of speech, how to speak, and how everything's being censored. The media doesn't show you everything that's going on. He's talking about voting, and I'm saying my perspective. How many fucking years we've been voting, and we still end up there? They take them down, they replace them. They take them down, they replace them. Word has not gotten us. And look who the world we got right now. And keep in mind, this individual was always talking about he's gonna do this, he's gonna do that. But aftermath, I don't see no solutions coming in, so it's getting even worse. Right?
Can you speak on the $400,000 that you were saying that we're gonna owe?
That would be.
Yeah, go to usdebtclock.org. It pulls it out of the treasury.gov API. 7 years ago, it was $100,000, and today it's over $400,000 per American.
Please, John.
Being right instead of being politically giving a damn speech, just talk like a normal human being, bro.
No, he's on a pulpit of it or whatever he's on. But hold on a second.
Can you speak to the Republican, please?
Listen. When I start getting paid, I start doing what people want me to do. Till then, you gotta get what I want to do or what I'm willing to do. So
okay, so you.
So what you're saying is, if you can't be used, you're useless?
Damn, bro. Please, I'm begging of you. Just listen. When he says 400,000, he's dividing the 45 trillion dollars worth of debt with the population of the United States, and each American, what they will be responsible for. That will be the 400,000.
Oh, so it's not the written stone that's what's coming. It's just
No. It's just dividing the map.
Yeah, it's written in stone. It's called math. As he just told you, it's called division. That's a function in mathematics. Go to usdebtclock.org to see the true financial picture of you, we the people, at an individual per capita level.
John, the least you could do is become a member of the club, bro. That's the least you could do, since we got to listen to your rants and to your uncontrollable...
Sir, if you're in a club, I'm not joining it. Hey, Mark, welcome to the stage.
Well, you know the thing is, the crazy thing, even though they were turning around the debt, if they actually owe, that's the reason why. What would be a better way to hijack and cyber attack all the whole fucking system, you wouldn't have even a fucking track of who owes what, and they would be like, well, do you have a track? Do you have a trace? What they owe, what they don't. That's why they're actually using all the quantum and the fucking AI. It's also trying to race and get.
Let's make room for new speakers. Mark, welcome to the stage. You're running for Congress.
Now,
I did that, Augustus. Call me responsible. I did that. In order to keep a space, you have to keep those people out.
You know what's crazy, Sucker Free? You told him that he got, like, the people got to stop people from talking, and then you did the same thing you wanted to get.
It's okay.
Very, very excellent observation.
I'll count.
But no, I said that the Johns are crazy everywhere. I see we had Minnesota crazy John, now we got Augustus crazy John.
because I understand there's some information, but the thing is, he it's like you're hearing a fucking commercial, and he's taking away from whatever he's saying, and he's trying to be humorous at the same time, and he's taking away from the information he's trying to bring in.
What happened to Sucker Free? Did somebody move him or something?
Are they still on here?
I don't know.
Bro,
They moved them.
No, somebody did. I didn't do that.
who kicked him down? Oh, that was not me, Sucker Free.
No.
Yeah, nah, y'all be playing too many games with these moderator bags. You said what? You did it?
No. Don't kick.
Bring
Don't
him back
kick
up.
anyone,
I bring him
guys.
back up.
Please.
Who kicked him to the bottom?
I don't know, but I'm bringing it back up.
Probably whoever he was talking about.
Sucker Free, we sending you an invite.
Well, the person that he was talking about, like, we were just trying to figure out who kicked Sucker Free down.
Yeah, somebody kicked.
Well, I'm inviting you back up, Sucker Free, so. Yeah, y'all be
It's
playing too many games.
There's something real interesting about how this government keeps people in debt, and the rebranding of indentured servants to slavery to being bonded or bonded by debt. If the government is creating debt that keeps us bounded by under their authorities, then the government is the people who should need. If we're still under colonial rule, there's there's endless possibilities how this government under colonial rule is going to treat humanity. That's why they've been committing crimes against humanity and getting away with it.
Well, Mark is running for Congress here in Illinois. Mark has yet to speak. Mark, I'm wondering, how would you fix the economy?
Free market, baby. All these people that want handouts got to put their hands back in their pockets. And if you work and you try, then you can succeed. That's the American dream. That's what America's all about.
But Mark, we're borrowing $2 trillion a year that we don't have. A lot of that money ends up in the net income of major Fortune 500 corporations. Why are we giving ourselves future tax liabilities to have corporate profits now?
Because they're taxing more, and they're giving more fucking money. Well, they're supporting Israel and shit, and they're taxing us a lot of fucking shit.
Every dollar we invest in Israel, we get two back. So that's not it. What it is that the Democrats are completely paid and bought by all these special interests. So they're lying there. Look at AOC. She went in. She was worth $5,000. Now she's worth $15 million. They just make money off the deal, and they're bought and paid for by these corporations to pass legislation, which literally is like bribes. I don't know the difference between these lobby fees or book fees or appearance fees. It's all a scam, and it's unfortunately almost all on the Democrat side, but there's some on the Republican side too.
So
And that's your answer, and they don't care.
if you were
They don't
to,
have to bounce.
Mark, what district are you running in? What are your top towns, and what would be your first pieces of legislation you'd like to propose?
I don't think anybody on here is in it, but I'm in the 8th district, which is the west suburbs of Chicago. So it's O'Hare Airport out to Kane County, Cook County, and DuPage County. And my top issues would be to get rid of property taxes altogether and to make sure that border stays shut and we deport all these illegals. And that this will be real popular in this room. So, John, this is the only thing is we want to support Israel to end terrorists and end terror groups like Hamas, so that we can live in a free world where we don't have to worry about getting assassinated like poor Charlie just got killed.
You want Israel to do what?
To eliminate all these terrorists like Hamas and Hezbollah, and for that matter, Iran.
Okay, so stop right there. I'm stop right there because I want to make sure that I'm understanding who Hamas is. So I'll jump out there because I don't know too much about the situation. So I'll jump out there with my my non-education on Hamas. But the first thing I heard about Hamas was that they were a group of people that were, fed up with, everything that's going on in Gaza, like the black people would be, or like any group that's been oppressed would feel like, uprising. That's what they represent. However, the government has turned them into a terrorist organization. Now, I might have a misunderstanding because that's the first thing I heard about them. But tell me who. I feel like we need an explanation of who Hamas is, because I feel like a lot of countries, they'll just label you with some shit, and then that allows them to do any and everything they want to you, whether or not you started a certain way, or not. Like, are they like terrorists that just doing shit for no reason? Or who is Hamas?
They're classified as a terror organization, and they've proven that out thousands of times over by killing thousands of innocent.
What was their initial? Like? Why did they?
Sorry for interrupting you. Can I speak up? I'm Palestinian, by the way. My brother is Hamas. He's working with Hamas. Can I speak up, please? Yeah, I'm Palestinian, and I live in Dubai, Middle East. Let me tell you something. Hamas is not a searching group. Hamas is not a searching group. They're defending for the innocent people in Gaza Strip. And because they don't have a country, they don't have a system, and they don't want to live a peaceful life. And I have cousins and family have been killed every moment. I have around 20 cousins. And I have like a cousin is 4 years old that's been slaughtered. And they're sending me a video. I can share it with you.
Okay, stop right there. Okay, so Mark gave his. One second, I'm going somewhere with this. So Mark gave his explanation, which is, the rhetoric that we hear every day. And then Positive, whoever he is, came on here and gave his rhetoric, which is also something we hear. My thing is, in this room, we're set for freedom. We represent freedom. We represent positivity, love, trying to get out of this matrix, all that bullshit, right? So if I'm a black woman, right, and all my black people, one day we get tired of the oppression that we suffered over thousands of years, and we decide to rise up out of this system. We decide to do something about that. Will we then be considered, after all the bullshit that has been done against us, would we then be considered a terrorist organization as well?
Yes, domestic terrorists.
Yeah. Can I jump in?
So what are we talking about?
You're a tolerant of people.
Hold on, Mark. Tim's gonna jump in.
And yes, if you think gays are buildings.
Guys, please leave me alone.
Michael, please.
Guys, one person can talk, please.
Yeah, hold on.
One person can talk.
Hold on, Em. Hold on. We're gonna give you the mic. Please don't leave. Go ahead, Em.
I just want to simply say, my understanding that Hamas was a terrorist organization, they were deemed a terrorist organization for a very, very long time. Then the politics changed and they formed a separate Hamas political organization.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's pretty sticky. Number one there, Billy. So yes, they were labeled that. Then they weren't labeled that. So they had ties to terrorism. They said they cleaned it out. They were supporting the Palestinians' plight. Okay, but just like Muslim Brotherhood,
Yep.
it was designated a terrorist group by the United States for many years, and then Obama took them off that designation, and then allowed them to be a party here in the United States. I don't know if you guys knew that.
Yep.
In fact, we had a Muslim Brotherhood working in the administration, which I actually had many conversations with via Twitter.
No.
So, yes, I was Muslim Brotherhood.
Now we're talking.
Which Muslim Brotherhood?
What do you mean, which?
Muslim Brotherhood is a group established in Egypt in 1937.
Yep.
They migrated to the U.S. and they come from a very rich family. And get supported. Yeah, and they have like it's a group. Have some certain ideology. It's a kind of radical ideology. I agree.
Yeah, they were
Saudi Arabians, the individuals in there with other things.
It's not Saudi Arabia. It's a different thing. Saudi Arabia is Wahhabism.
They were banned.
So I hope we realize. I just wanted to in taking in all these opinions from my question.
Him was speaking.
Well, I just want to jump in there really quick and just finish it, like because people were jumping in on me as well, right? And I don't mind that. So I'm flowing and going. So I just want to complete it by saying, I feel like we're just really fucked because at any time if we feel like we're gonna rise up and we're gonna protect ourselves and start doing something, we're gonna be labeled as domestic terrorists or whatever. What?
But let me tell you something. I have a brother. My brother is working in Hamas, and I support them. So I have some questions because I want to tell you the truth. So please answer me sincerely. No, like unbiased answer. Like don't clutch on something. So the first question is, what basis do you call Hamas our terrorist group? What basis you're saying they are terrorists?
We're only getting that identity or that classification from the media. Our government is classifying them as terrorists.
Forget that. Fuck the media. I mean, what? Like, so what are like? What the situation? The proof that those people are doing some terrorism act.
So we got two things in there. So we got two things. One, the media and our president and the way it's working. We understand. This is why. We know that the media lies in the only show, and we understanding there is false propheters or people within certain people's religion that are actually saying they're actually that religion when they're not, and they come in and invade. So this is where you got two sides fighting in the same thing, just like the Muslims. The Muslim with the individual also said, right, they had some individuals that they're saying they're Muslim and they're not Muslim. So now people thinking that they're bad guys. So you got two people. It's the way, and so this side, it wants to, it's like everybody's pointing fingers and we got psyops in every direction. That's the problem. The media shows it and our government backs it up. So we're being lied to, but we're also seeing that it's not that way. And we're understanding there's other people who are speaking, and there's some places saying, hey, it's not us, we got integrated. There's somebody else also saying that they're part of us when they're not. So those are false people. And this is where these wars are at, and this is where their jobs, so there's many of them spread out. And we know there is also the Muslim Brotherhood that's in here, which there's another one in the ring here waiting for other orders across. So there's a lot of mixture of this shit. So we're the same way as you guys are being told, and we're being told differently. So there's a problem. That's why and they censor everything. And I understand with number one or whatever name that if we do, that's what I was telling John. I understand if we go up and sit there and rise up and say, since they changed the fucking laws and we speak up, we're going to be getting anything that demolishes the government or goes against it, we're going to be considered, like it says, domestic terrorists. So now they changed the law, anything that...
Well, listen, all I'm saying is that all communication matters. And I would just say eliminate profanity from your verbal diet altogether. My dad told me like a couple of years ago, he said, John, you're using the F word a lot. You're using a lot of profanity. He's like, just don't do that anymore. I was like, oh, shit, you're right. Oops, I just did it again. So the point is, don't step in your own dog shit.
Voting is not at all here. It hasn't got us
Don't step in your own dog shit.
As well as other people being attacked and they're being turned against each other. There's people invading here. They have the same thing in here. I understand we actually need one type of resources that we need that will back up if we do decide, right, as a people, because they're gonna go after us individually, right? So, and you know, when you go against something, you're gonna have pushback. So if you would sit there, somebody give me the right suit, I guarantee I can gather a lot of people down here. We need, what is it that we actually need the right way to use their own laws against them instead of them using it against us before we rise and we do speak up.
They already under Biden said Catholics were terrorist organizations, parents were a terrorist group. DHS put out a memo back in 2022 labeling us that. So the label is just one thing, positive. And so truth be told, I put a link in there that the origins of Hamas, and just like the origins of the Mujahideen, which turned into the Taliban, we all know what the Mujahideen is, right?
Listen, I just wanna tell you guys a good quote.
We would be supposedly tied back to, like, say if, like when Billy said, like, we was doing XYZ trying to protect ourselves, they'd be like, oh, we could track them back to terrorism this far back too. So at the end of the day, and then you talk about the Taliban or whatever, I don't think negatively of those people. Like, I don't really think that they did anything to us. I don't think they blew up the World Trade Centers. They just gave them a fucking label and said they were the worst people in the world. Like,
Listen, you guys can talk about Israel all day long. I'm not trying to interrupt your conversation. I'm trying to literally just provide a little basis of wisdom or joy or stability in the communication from me. The only gift I can give the people is a positive attitude and a little wisdom, and maybe just encourage you all to take the deepest breath of the day.
Sugarcoating everything, because you sugarcoat everything and there's no damn solution. And voting up there, how many times do people go up there and vote?
You know, I don't own a candy shop, and I don't like candy, and you can call me a sugar pop. But make it pop. I don't really care if I talk over you or anybody else as long as I'm allowed to speak. That's called my freedom of speech.
At the end of the day, like I said, where has it gotten us? Actually need right solutions, right things, because it's coming from everywhere. We're stuck in the middle. And these people thinking we can go up and vote. How many
That's
times
a take, ladies and gentlemen.
Look who we have on top. And they're censoring everybody. I'm sorry.
Green beans faster.
Hold on, positive. Hold on, somebody speaking.
It gets very frustrating. I've been doing this 5 years. It always falls. We have spinmeisters coming up.
Green bean fascism. Have a good day. There are no gentlemen here.
And Osama bin Laden. I can admit that Israel funded and started certain clerics that evolved into Hamas. That's fair. Okay? But if we can't have an honest dialogue about our countries that we love, then we got nothing. We're just rambling on. So I appreciate you, John. I appreciate you positive. But it is what it is.
A lot, you brought up the year 2022. A lot of things happened between that year and 2023 dealing with the Vatican or the infiltrators or the people who did the Spanish Inquisition, things of that nature, people following the doctrine of discovery. That would be the origin, and all the subsidiaries created after the doctrine of discovery came here would be the start point, in my observation.
Hey guys, I gotta shut the room down. I'll be back later with another title. Thanks everybody for joining. If you're new, please join Preservation of the Human Race, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.
Salute.
Now, but that's how we're trying to fix it.
So, no, it's not.
That's a tape.
I don't know why y'all do this, bro.
it's very simple. They aren't screened out, so that is a unsupported premise. They are.
That's a JohnForCongress.com preservation of the human race video.
Left to the devices of these good, clean, white, powerful people, they would just never hire anyone that they didn't want to hire or look like them or whatever, right? They just decide, no, I'm not doing it. I'll just not do it.
They're racist.
And what's so crazy is that I looked up the numbers. There's 691 reported pilots in the country. I don't know how many of them are commercial pilots, but we know if they were to like broaden their search to the entire world and every crevice and corner of the world, or if they decided that they were gonna like create their own minor league where they themselves funded all the up and coming pilots, which I'm sure they could if they wanted to. Then they could ensure that all pilots from now in perpetuity were good, clean whites and no one else. That's the world they could devise if they were left to their own devices. So, and I think some people would have no problem with that, and you're getting pushback on that. Thank you. Have a nice.
Thank you, Congress. That was a beautiful submission. Because what you guys don't understand, the world is still racist. Even in the military, all our training facilities in the military have what you call blind testing. That the instructor grades the test. He have no idea whose paper he's grading. He cannot mark somebody down. And there's a separate entity that really collects the information from that profession and then assigns the names to the grades. So therefore, they found out that in the past, teachers who didn't like black people would fail black people just because. And y'all don't realize the fact that when we look for pilots, it's about their IQ, how smart they are. And it's not about that we're not looking for dumb black people to be pilots. We're looking for the smartest of black people to be pilots. So when you meet a black pilot, bow down because they're actually really intelligent people. Because we went to all those schools and picked the smartest black person we could find to be pilots. And they did that during the Tuskegee Airmen, because that's why the Tuskegee Airmen had a higher passing score average than any of the white pilots during World War II, because we took the criminal crop blacks. But y'all somehow think that somehow if you're a black pilot, you're less qualified. But history proves otherwise. That we always put the criminal crop
you're not
black
actually
people. But
addressing
you don't want to admit that. You don't want to
to.
admit that. All you want to do is to talk around it and don't admit the actual truth. And I'm giving you examples
You acknowledge
to back up what I'm saying.
All right, you acknowledge the blind test, right? You acknowledge in the military there's a blind test where people aren't able to identify who it is for the test to be objective. What I'm saying is once you submit a addition to the requirement as far as it being of a survey, for you to reveal your identity, it is no longer a blind test. Do you agree?
But you don't understand. What are you talking about? I'm talking about a blind test.
Yeah, boy.
The professor.
That was an easy one right there.
You didn't make any. You didn't make any sense, Samoa. The professor will never know whose test that is. Because hold on. Let me explain it to you fully. Let me explain.
You didn't hear what I said, so I just want to repeat what I said. You said that in the military there's a blind test and you're for that. You agree with that. So there's no biases that are involved.
Exactly.
All right. So in this, this is for the air traffic controllers. It's the class action lawsuit right now. There was a survey that revealed your identity and your social, whatever, right? It revealed it to be a part of the application process with your resume. Why is that important if what we want is the blind test that you just described?
So you want to? I am okay with that. That's what I want. Because
I told you agree with Charlie Kirk. I told you.
You guys know, but listen. I came from a military where if you saw me, you were like, "Oh, he's not one of the better officers." Actually, I was an awesome officer. And the point here being is that throughout my whole military training, all my whole career, all the tests were blind tests. And guess what? I was officers with white people. And majority of the times I graduate ahead, number one in my classes, ahead of everyone else. So, but you would see me would you see me in an Air Force uniform and say, "Oh yeah, he's a major, he's a B class major because he's black"? Of course, racist people would do that because guess what? Racist people don't know. Hold on, racist people think they know how a process works, how a hiring and trading process works, and what Charlie Cook was doing was reducing it to someone's color entirely. We're not talking about, he
All right,
basically
all right,
says, as a black pilot, you're less qualified. Did he say that? Answer. Did he say that black pilots are less qualified? Did he say that? Did he say that he would wonder their qualification? No, answer that question. Answer that question. You know, answer the question. Answer the question. Answer the question. Answer the question. Did Charlie Kirk not say that a black pilot is less qualified than a white?
No.
No, yes or no?
Right. No, he didn't.
No, he didn't.
You see,
He did not
you
say
guys
that.
looking at the semantics of what he says because you guys are booty clapping, but we all know
He
what he
didn't say
meant when he said,
that,
because guess
Emerald.
what? He inferred that.
No, he didn't.
And y'all are just bullshitting around. He did infer it, but he said infer it. He did. So you guys are being honest, and I'm done having a conversation with y'all.
All right.
You guys are lying.
No, because what I don't
Let me finish.
What's the moment going on after Simone?
All right. So hold on, AHB, come on. ML just said that with the actual testing in the military, it was a blind test, so that if you are to be the top of your class, people can look at the actual testing and be like, yeah, we earned that, right? We earned that because it's a blind test. If we were to show you that there is a test that factors in identity, then you no longer can say that that's a blind test. So by your own admission, we should be able to question it because it's not a blind test.
No,
if it's a blind,
who got time for that?
Hold on. Let's
for that.
Hold on, ASB. Let's not finish because I'm going after Simone.
ML said throughout his career, he was
had blood to defend it.
Testing. Testing. Hey.
Hey, Allie, can you hear me?
Yeah, hello? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Hey, how's your morning or afternoon going now?
So far, so good. How about yourself?
Good. I was in Augustus's Preservation of the Human Race, having a lot of fun on this app earlier. What have you been doing this
Just nothing really today. So far, I have plans after I get off the phone with you, but so far, not much.
So we have 300 signatures in Rockford. I invited the team lead in Rockford to come to this room. I don't know her availability. I don't know if she's working or. Anyways, we have. We're gonna get 200 more signatures this week, and Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, I have to drive up there and pick up the petitions. I'm not sure if I'm gonna stay because even last night my car battery died, so like I'm probably gonna have to schedule something at Firestone or rent a car to drive up there. But she's done great work. She enlisted her husband, her neighbor, and they live near a mall, so they've been able to get a lot of signatures in the evening times. And just based, yeah. Go ahead.
What city? What city was that?
Rockford.
Rockford. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, cool.
So the other town to hit up is Peoria, and I mean I'm gonna go down there soon. But the Bloomington trip was a success, and yeah, people are excited to sign. And as soon as you let somebody know, hey, this is a petition to get rid of Darren LaHood, they go, give me that, and they sign right away.
That's
so
awesome.
people are very much opposed to the sound Darren LaHood.
Yeah.
And we'll see how it goes. There's another Republican running. I think 4 other Democrats, but October 27th is our cutoff. I'd like to get as many signatures as possible. But this is an onboarding room. Anybody who is working for the campaign to get petitions has to get dragged through Clubhouse. Some people, part of this is a filtration and a quality thing because a lot of people actually are incapable of downloading the app and actually coming into this room. And that's, basically because some people have really shitty phones. And so that this is all just about filtration. But the purpose of the room is to we both introduce ourselves and then we state 3 objectives or priorities that we think the government should have for we the people.
Okay. So a quick introduction, I guess I should give. Yeah. For myself.
Sure, you can go.
Yeah. So my name is Eli. I was born and raised in Chicago. My dad came straight from Israel, and he, when he came to this country, he opened up a couple of businesses, some of which I've worked at. One of which was, I'd say, quite large. I spent the last 4 years or so working at his restaurant in Missouri, and now I'm back in Chicago. I'm kind of new to politics, I guess you could say, and I'd like to start, I'd like to start in that, getting into politics more.
Yeah, being political is really just being social. I worked for the American Jewish Committee in Los Angeles, and the whole point is to be social. So you can help de-escalate conflict, de-escalate propaganda, stuff like that. So it's all communication, and being social is being political is being social. And with that type of attitude, you can go far in life and in politics because life is, it's all connected. So
I'm pretty good at talking, I think. I'm good at communicating. I'm good with talking to people. I'm a little nervous about stepping into politics and the whole world of politics because it's like I said, it's a little new to me. But I'm excited to see what I can do, and I think I can be a force to reckon with. When it comes to getting signatures, I'm pretty sure people will like me.
Yeah, I agree. And if you bring a positive vibration, and you bring flowers and you bring love, it's always returned. It's the people that bring hate and divisiveness and bad temperament and bad attitude. That those flowers of evil are returned. So basically, the system gives you, or you get from the system what you give it.
I totally understand where you're coming from with that. 100%. 100% agree.
So, this is my intro. I live in Chicago, 42, was in the Army National Guard from 2002 to 2006, was a sergeant, and in 01, a second lieutenant, did infantry and intelligence. I've worked in digital marketing, communications, media buying for 15 years, and then I worked in federal facilities management for 5 years. And now I'm running for Congress. And I think, we have a 1 in 10 chance of winning. And I'm happy with just a 10% odds on this investment. I, don't expect to invest more than a couple thousand personally into this campaign. We've raised 600, but Clubhouse can be a great place to do fundraising because we got $600 to already prove those numbers. So if you want this job of gathering petitions, part of it, hopefully, you'll do fundraising on this app or hold content creation rooms and discuss topics like Israel and Palestine. You may want to create another burner account if you don't want to use your legal name or your picture and all that stuff. Anonymity, I would say, is on your side of the equation. So it's up to you, but I would love it if you'd want to do that. You don't have to do it because the truth is those need signatures.
That does sound good.
Yeah. So there's a lot of ways you can play this because if you can fundraise, that means, now you're a super campaigner and, everything gets paid for. So, but that's, my introduction. That's my background. That's the operations. And my 3 priorities. Oh, do you want to tell us your 3 priorities if you were the president of the United States?
I did not say that. Yeah. Well, first, to speak on the thing that you were just talking about, yes, I would absolutely be down to host rooms and speak. And I think that I can be very. I think I can make those rooms pretty big. I have a good feeling about it. I've never done it before, but I do have confidence in my ability to do that. As far as if I were president and what 3 things do I want to accomplish in this country? Let me see. I mean, I feel like I want to give that a little bit of thought before I jump to a response. There are a couple of things that I find very important. Let me hear yours, and then maybe I can. It'll help me with my answer here.
Number 1 priority is to lower your personal debt, then to lower your public debt per capita at the state and federal levels, lower your property taxes, lower your income taxes, and stop borrowing and spending and giving you more taxes by giving Fortune 500 tax credits through the Big Beautiful Bill. Those would be my 3 priorities if I was a fiscally minded conservative and want to bring before the Congress a balanced budget act.
Makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I'm trying to come up with 3 things that if I were president, what would I want to do? First, I think, we should have strong foreign relations. I think that In the previous 4 years before we had the current president, we had some pretty not so good foreign relations. I was not impressed. And I do think that directly impacts our country, how we are, you know what I mean? In addition to that, I would say, yeah, I mean, having more money in the pockets of Americans, I guess, is a priority for me. It's something that makes a lot of sense. And I do think that each and every individual has the capability of doing that. In Chicago, for sure, we have a problem with homelessness that's, I'd say, kind of problematic. I'd like to see the streets of Chicago cleaned up, less violence that we have constantly. And I guess those are my 3 things.
Foreign relations. Yeah, that sounds good. Foreign relations, economy, and homelessness.
Basically.
In terms of priorities, what's the number one priority? Homelessness, economy, or foreign relations?
Probably economy.
Because a good economy can solve the other 2.
But yeah, there's a very high potential for that to be true, yes.
Yeah. You know, one of my favorite equations in physics was for velocity, distance over time.
Yeah.
And how you can rearrange 3 variables to find out any other variable. So, yeah, I wish you well in Clubhouse. You know, there's a lot of rooms that go on, and you can click that link above. That's the link to the campaign fundraiser. And if you go into any rooms and you have a debate, you can put in your profile that, you know, you are a campaign organizer for candidate John Kitover. You know, your word to word or ear to ear marketing on this app can raise hundreds of dollars, but you have to give calls to action and say, hey, take your finger, click that link above. You can pay via Apple Pay. You can pay with credit card. You know, walk people through it via communication with your words, and it will go far. And you can experiment with that and have fun with that. And every dollar you raise, you're going to spend out in the field getting signatures if you're available and when you want to do it. You know, I'm trying to get Zach Ruda out here from Portland, Maine, and he's doing that, and he's fundraising on this app. So he's trying to get out here so we can get a rental car and a hotel to go to Rockford in October. But this app, you know, it can be great for fundraising, and there's a lot of rooms out there, and you can create your own rooms, and I will come to your rooms. Just text me a link to your room and create a room title, you know, the ultimate Israel-Palestine debate part 2, things like that. Yes. Come up with creative titles, use news, things in the news, talk about how the Gaza's internet is down, how the Gaza has no cell phones anymore, you know, yes. Be relevant, be news, basically be a journalist and be a campaign organizer and fundraiser.
Yes. I think that sounds like a fun venture for me.
Yeah, run with it. My favorite movie is Excalibur, you know. He says, I give you the right to bear arms and dispense justice. Rise, King Arthur! You know, like, go out, be a social audio knight in shining armor and, you know, have fun in the campaign to elect candidate John Kitover to the 16th district. This is your official onboarding.
Awesome. That sounds awesome. That sounds awesome.
Okay, cool. Yeah, invite your friend too. I think I met him at that event at
yes.
Playbook. Yeah.
Yeah. That's he's got his own business going on, and I don't think he's very tech savvy like I am. He doesn't really he might be using Snapchat once in a while.
Well, invite him on Clubhouse. Come invite him to one of your rooms. When you create a room, just text him the link and say, hey, I'm hosting this room for that guy at that event we met.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Okie dokie. Well, any other comments, questions, ideas, or opinions?
Yeah, just so going forward, what do you expect out of me aside from me hosting Clubhouse rooms and bringing people to the website that you linked?
You have a car, right?
I do. I have a pickup truck with one extra seat.
Yeah, I mean, you can go to Rockford anytime you want. The problem is, like, paying for your hotel room for one night would be possible. You just pick a weekend you want to go. I can pay for your gas, I can pay for your hotel, and I can pay for one meal. And the goal would be to get 100 signatures a day. It's a lot of work, and you'd have to find an event. We'd have to really coordinate it. But you can bring a battle buddy with you if you want.
It does sound nice. You buy me a hotel, but I also don't mind necessarily like sleeping in my car as long as if I was by myself, it's possible I can spend one night in my car. It's not a big deal.
Oh no, don't worry about it. The campaign has enough money to pay for a hotel for one night, so
Okay.
It wouldn't be the greatest hotel in town, but it'll be a clean room and a good hotel at least. So, yeah, but if you went for one night or 2 nights, like let's say, we'd have to look at the calendar because I took a screenshot. There's a Rockford website with all the major events in the months of September and October.
Okay.
So let me text you that link, and then you'll look at your schedule and we'll figure out which event would be the best signature gathering events to go to.
I'll carve out some time for it. That sounds like a fun thing to do. I love Rockford anyway. It's a beautiful area.
Yeah, 2 hours away. It's I think Rockford is how we get on the ballot, because Peoria and Bloomington are much further drives, and Rockford is the number 1 town. And I bet you, I don't know what the favorability ratings are, but I bet you he has a much higher favorability rating in Peoria than he does in Rockford. So Rockford is a way to possibly win this.
You're saying he's more favorable in Rockford?
No, less.
Okay.
He's probably hated in the north and loved in the south because he gives the farmers, fucking hundreds of billions in soybean tax credits and everything else. Like,
I see.
He's juiced in probably in southern Illinois, but not people in the north probably dislike him, and he doesn't represent them in the way that he represents people in the south. So there's this natural division, which this is all hypothetical. I don't know if this is true, but it's a story, so I'm going with it.
It sounds good.
It sounds good. Yeah, North versus South. It's like a civil war. I mean, see, this is the type of news headlines I want to create. And you can also create stuff on X for the campaign. So I definitely need social media content people out there tagging me, creating content, posting news, and then going through Darren LaHood's X account. Go look at his replies, comment on his posts, and say, I think candidate Congressman John Kitover is a much better option for the voters of the 16th district. Like, nobody's doing that kind of campaigning for me. So if you want to be that pen warrior, that's really what I need, is a pen warrior. And whether it's petitions on the paper or creating controversial content and attack ads on the internet, stirring the pot.
Yeah,
I have no problem stirring the pot because we are in a true fiscal crisis, and they're not going to turn back. They're just going to keep borrowing and spending. So I think we have no choice but to stir the pot. So if you can stir the pot, you'll be a much more effective political organizer and campaign organizer for this campaign.
That sounds like that sounds very good. That sounds like something I would need to work towards a little bit by just getting started, at least with Clubhouse and I'll need to make that. I might want to make that how did you put it, for a different account?
You can be anonymous and use a pen name.
Yeah,
it's called a nom de plume. Name of the pen. Like, you don't have to use your legal name. You can use an alias account. So
if I had one of those, I'd be much more confident in my I'd have a farther reach. I think I could make it happen.
Yeah, I do have a burner phone, and I can set one up for you, and it will be like your official, campaign cell phone.
That would be fine. I would totally be down to do that with you. That sounds like my a preferred method for me.
Okay, well then, before you go to Rockford, I'll have the phone set up for you, and you can create content when you get to Rockford.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah. Okay, let's do that. All right. Well, let me text you the Rockford calendar, and that will be our next steps.
Okay. I'm looking forward to going down to Rockford and collecting over 100 signatures and so forth.
Okay, sounds good.
We said 100. We said 100 signatures per day.
100 a day
At least.
would be fantastic.
Yeah. All right.
It would be a miracle. 100 a day is a great number.
I will look forward to it. That sounds like
okay. Fun. Okay, sounds good. Talk to you soon.
All right. Bye.
Okay, bye.
Just knew they was about to get paid, and I had to break it to them, man. That's a scam. What? And I pulled that shit up on the computer, man. He was sick, but he still believed. He was borrowing money from everybody to send help these people.
Well, no, I'm not saying intuitively. I'm not talking about intuitively.
Oh, you mean what? Morally? Because I still think that's the same thing, right? I think that'd be morally not okay to do that. Legally, I mean, we don't really. I don't know that that's been addressed. But yeah, I mean, morally.
So what's the tipping point to say? Okay, I got a computer on my. If I go and grab all the components, I make a computer. Mm-hmm. I can get a hammer and smash it, right? Mm-hmm. And I didn't do anything wrong. Mm-hmm. But there's something where you say there's a transition point when something's imbued upon that I can no longer, upon the very thing that I created, that I can't smash anymore. So what is that transition point?
Yeah. Well, just to be clear, when I was bringing up that example with concrete, I actually am not of the opinion that we can create some sentient. I mean, I'm not persuaded this is true, that we can create a sentient AI being. I think sentience has to do with God, ensouling a human. So I don't think that that's a barrier that we can cross, but a lot of other people do. So I was just trying to appeal to that to see how concrete would deal with that example. Just to be clear, he bypassed it entirely. It's like, I'm not going to deal with that. That's too gross. I don't let such nasty things enter my mind. Like, shut the fish up.
My thought process though is we do have, as a believer, more specifically, that God does have the ability to do with his creation whatever he wants. Now, an atheist may not, somebody else may not, but we.
Yeah, but that's through special revelation, right? And through reasoning about who God is. But that's not from just some intuition you have right out the gate, right? I mean.
Sorry, Z.
I had a day job, but this was like supplemental income, so I was getting to it.
What are you doing, Boo Boo?
You're always doing this stupid ass shit.
What are you doing, Boo Boo?
What'd you say?
I said, what are you doing, Boo Boo? I'm campaigning over here. I'm running for Congress.
No, you're not.
I am. I just had an onboarding session with a young man who is going to go get 100 signatures a day and create content online.
Are you dead ass? You're running for Congress?
I'm dead ass like that ass.
No, be honest.
Yeah, I've seen your bikini photos. Wow, a supermodel, a glamour model, the most beautiful woman on Clown House. You get the Clubhouse Queen Award, baby.
You're such a liar. You're not.
Dynamite!
Are you running as a Republican?
Republican.
So this is for the air traffic controllers in the context.
Yeah.
Say on Jesus' name.
On Jesus' name, amen.
Say on Jesus' name, I'm running for Congress.
On Jesus' name, I'm running for Congress. Hallelujah. Amen.
You're not religious.
Amen. Listen, this is your Declaration of Independence. The times, places, and manner of holding elections for senators and representatives shall be prescribed in each state by the legislature
Wait, I have a question. If you're running for Congress, what is the process of running for Congress? How does it work?
You file with the Federal Election Commission on their website. That's it. That's your.
File with the Federal Election Commission? How does that work?
It's a website. You just declare that you're running, and you have to submit a financial disclosure, and you have to submit campaign fundraising disclosures,
And then you have to get media, and you have to get people to sign petitions and get the minimum number of
You need a financial disclosure of what?
your assets.
What if you don't have any assets?
Well, then there's nothing to declare. You just declare nothing. Yeah, anybody can run, and there's no filing fee in my state. Some states have filing fees. But what you have to do is you have to get petition signatures, and whether it's 500, 1,000, or 5,000. And so my number is about 700, and I have to get 700 confirmed signatures by October 27th and turn that into the Illinois Election Commission.
So why don't you get the signature yourself?
I am. I have been getting signatures myself.
That would be better instead of onboarding somebody to do it.
Well, I need agents to go out there and help me gather signatures, and that's what I've been doing. I've been using Clubhouse to onboard people as the conference call platform, and creating content.
Can you onboard me?
Well, where do you live?
I don't live in Chicago.
Well, you just have to be able to get to Rockford, Peoria, Bloomington. Those three cities have almost 450,000 people. So.
Well, I can't get there.
Well, then, baby, I can't onboard you. All I can do is sit here and chat with you and tell you how pretty you are, boo-boo.
No.
You're the prettiest girl on Clubhouse, boo-boo.
Can I be, can I work for you then? When you become president, or not president. Hello, John? 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 Hello? John? Hello? Hello? John? John?
So this is for the air traffic controllers in the context of those right now. There was a survey that revealed your identity and your social whatever, right? It revealed it to be a part of the application process for the resident. Why hasn't it occurred yet? What we want is a life application process.
So you want to go? I'm okay with that. That's what I want. I told you guys. You guys, no, but listen. I came to the military where if you saw me, you were like, oh, he's not my better officers. Actually, I was working with. Years, the door.
Quiet today. I'm surprised.
That is correct.
Hello, Kitover. How are the signatures going?
It's going good. We're going to get another 200 signatures this week and then take a little pause and then start up again next week.
How many signatures do you need?
We need about 700.
Okay.
We're at 330.
So half.
Not really, because a lot of those signatures are bad, I'm sure. So we have to try to get to like 1,000 to, have a margin of error because they're going to challenge every signature. No, I only know them. I know Max through a conservative club here in Chicago, set up by another Jew who's far more intelligent than any of us. His name is Zach Shapiro, and he's a very successful young man at Morningstar. And that's how I know Max and Mark. And Max had run for Congress, and I wouldn't really call him a help, and I certainly wouldn't really call him, a campaign manager. He runs a website called Illinois Record. He's a journalist. So, recently I was on NPR. You can see my PTR here. I'll put the link in the chat. But he did point out that the journalist that did the audio overlay on this NPR interview, she really dislikes Darren LaHood when running against. So they gave me publicity as a Republican candidate because they hate Darren LaHood that much. They're a bunch of Democrats. Well, I'm not running in Chicago. I'm running in the north and south of Illinois, from Rockford to Peoria. So this is the center core of America. We're talking about areas that are not as luxurious as Chicago. And the Midwest. It's the core of America. It's farmers. It's small towns with 5,000 people in it, with an old antique, 1860 town. There's 50 of them. So it's the core of Illinois. And I will tell you, poverty is everywhere. And everybody is claiming that the rent is too high. And you know what? The rent is too high. Well, why? It's the economy, stupid.
The Yemenites just launched another missile. It was intercepted. But alarms were set in many places in Israel.
I got the notification on my phone.
I mean,
where are the rocket or the missiles?
What did it say, Daniel? It said, bling, 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 bling.
Is it in Jerusalem?
What?
Is it in Jerusalem? Are there sirens?
No. It's intercepted. But earlier, there was a drone that actually did hit outside of a hotel in Eilat. And in the morning, there was an aid worker that murdered 2 Israelis in a aid corridor.
What? In Gaza?
No, it's an aid corridor from Jordan. It was basically.
Did they kill them? They murdered them?
Yeah.
He murdered 2.
And a Jordanian went into an aid corridor to kill 2 people.
Wasn't it? They opened up the doors to let them go.
He came in from Jordan. He was hired by the Jordanian army, military, and he came in with a truck from Jordan to Israel to go to Gaza. And in the checkpoint, he basically stabbed and shot 2 people.
Well, that's the end of that checkpoint.
Yeah, now it's closed. Yes. Yeah. They will basically start the story from Israel decided to close the checkpoint in Jordan. Like Israel launched an offensive on 8th of October, 2023.
Because of 2 injuries. It's so insane how they never help themselves. They always do the wrong thing. They always make it worse. Oh my God.
And that's an aid worker, the aid workers. Israel.
Who were they working for? What NGO?
I don't know. I don't know, actually. No, this one was working for the Jordanian army.
He was hired by the Jordanian army, but I don't know if it's via like a third-party NGO or not. And basically,
They killed him, right? Or no?
Yes, Israel took him down. And Israel kind of lacks the security measures in Jordan to kind of pass it to the Jordanian army, like trusting them. But now I guess that is also over. Yeah, everything is so.
The King Abdullah say? Abdullah. Has he put out a statement? Have they said anything?
I don't know if they have a statement, but they need to do like an inquiry and submit their results to us. But I don't know when. But until then, like it's gonna be closed.
Yeah, shit. As it should be.
And then after they will submit the inquiry, Israel will decide how to what measures they would want to apply to kind of make it safe. It's not the first time that it's happening. It happened
It's not the first time that aid workers have attacked?
Yeah, in the crossing in Jordan. It already happened. Don't remember, I think a year ago that.
Actually, I remember the riots or something like this.
No, he came in and also started firing at people. He killed 3 or 2 Israeli, again, employees that they work for aid distribution and drivers and stuff like this, not military target. Those that actually are in charge of it's so stupid. Those are the people that are actually in charge of providing the humanitarian corridor to Gaza and providing them with aid. And these are the people that you're
killing.
It's so, everything is so twisted and no one cares. It's so insane.
And it's as soon as they hear, they'll go straight, it's Israel's fault.
No, even if it's not, but Israel also kills.
Yeah. There's nothing you can do to satisfy them.
No, I'm not trying.
Yeah.
Fuck them.
Yeah.
Some of them literally, because some of them maybe this will help them. They will actually get
I don't think so.
Some.
Not much faith for that society.
Oh, speaking of.
Oh, the naked guy.
This is for you.
Oh no, I don't want this. Return it. No, thank you.
Mazel tov, my niggas. L'chaim.
My name is Slim Shady. My name is Slim. What the hell's that picture? What in the messed up shit's going on here?
Hold on. Why do you have hot sauce in your bathroom? Everything else makes sense.
It's barbecue.
Yeah, but why? Don't you have enough bottles?
No, that's my soap.
Hey, you barbecue your pee-pee?
Makes sense.